All right, this is the sale a lot of people wait for every year, and it's the Summer of Sound sale by Native Instruments. And in this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my thoughts about what's out there. I will point you to some videos I've already got on a whole bunch of these things. I do have affiliate links in the description, and that's a way that you can help me out on this channel. And the Summer of Sound sale is one of the biggest ones that really does help people like me out. And yes, Native Instruments sends me the software. That's why I always put paid promotion at the beginning of these kind of videos. But it's really through the affiliate links that allow me to keep making these videos, because every time I make a video, I'm taking time away from a paying job. And lately that's getting a little harder to justify. So if you want me to keep making these videos, that's just one way to help me out. But as I always say on my channel, I don't want people buying stuff they don't need. So I'm going to talk very frankly about some of the things on this list. We'll get in there and talk about why I think they're a great deal, or maybe something that you don't necessarily need. You got to figure out which products are right for you. So let's get into it. And hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll be able to start making videos on fun stuff, on musical stuff, and get away from just product reviews, because I'm getting really tired of doing them. But they really do keep my channel going. And it's not just affiliate links, it's the YouTube algorithm. Because guess what? If I make a video on music theory or technique or something like that, it doesn't get the clicks. If you want to help creators like me out, the best thing you can do is watch our videos that aren't on product reviews and give us reasons to keep doing those videos. Anyways, enough of that rant. Let's get into it and see what we've got in this sale. So, we've got things like 50% off the complete bundles. So if you are looking at getting complete 14 and you've been waiting and waiting and you've never got a version, or you want to do an upgrade, well, now is definitely the best time to do that. There probably will be a new version of Complete coming soon. And if you look at the release schedule, you'll be able to figure out when that is. They have been pretty consistent with that over the years. So you can look that up, Google that. There's all sorts of people who've done the research and show you which bundles have come out when. 50% off Complete and 50% off upgrades as well. So if you already have like Complete 13 or something like that, it's 50% off to get the upgrade to Complete 14. And before I get too far into it, the Acoustic Sunburst Deluxe is this new acoustic guitar, session guitars that just came out this last week. I didn't have time to make a video for it, but I did play around with it a little bit, and it is fantastic. A really nice acoustic guitar, not just strumming, but picking, and very easy to go in and customize your own chords. So, with this revolution of AI stuff that's coming to DAWs everywhere, I got to say, things like Acoustic Sunburst, their session guitarists are fantastic and kind of a different level above some of the AI stuff that's being touted and thrown about by other software companies, if you know what I mean. So check out Acoustic Sunburst Deluxe. I'll put a link to that one in the description as well. And if you want to watch a video on it, make sure you go over to Pulse Music's channel, because he has a video on session guitarist. Super nice guy. And I love giving other YouTube creators a little shout out whenever I can. So I'll put a link to his video in the description. So on to the Complete products, just to give you the too long didn't watch of the differences between these different ones. The main thing I will say is if you get the Complete 14 Collector's Edition, you're going to get almost all of the expansions that Native Instruments has released. And I use those expansions all the time. I buy samples and all sorts of other libraries, but the thing I always go to is the expansions for certain genres of electronic music. A very good reason for you to go for the Collector's Edition. And just so you know, I am a purchaser of the Collector's Edition. So before I got all of this stuff given to me, I got upgrades given to me, but I initially did shell out the ridiculous amount of money for the Collector's Edition back in the day. I can't remember which version it was, but it was totally worth it to me even back then. So I'm not just saying this as somebody who's been given the software for free. Expansions are a huge part of the Collector's Edition over on the right-hand side. On this column right here, we've got the Ultimate version. And the other thing that you're going to get with the Collector's Edition are all of these solo string instruments. So the viola, the violin, and the cello. And I got to say, the cello, the Stradivari cello, is one of my favorite virtual instruments ever made. If you go to the next version of Complete, you've got the orchestral editions and the violin. I don't use these orchestral. I usually find myself going to other libraries like Project Sam stuff. I also use a lot of VSL orchestral stuff. Other things I use a lot are action strikes. Ashlight's a really neat one. I did use that a lot in a recent documentary for those really evocative pads and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend those. I love Session Strings Pro 2. I did just say I don't use the orchestral stuff, but I use Session Strings Pro 2 a lot. That is kind of a go-to if I just need like almost like a pop string sound in the back of an actual pop song. So maybe not for an orchestral piece of music, but it has so many different articulations and you can really get quite creative with those, and they sound pretty decent in my opinion for a fairly simple library. And then the last one I will mention is Session Horns Pro in the last 2 versions of Complete. With the top 2 versions of Complete, you do get a lot more of the acoustic guitars, the electric guitars, and actually all of them come with prime bass, which is really cool. So that's what I would say about the Complete stuff. And I feel like that's probably the #1 thing that people are most excited about is looking at getting Complete. They do have a few single things on sale, like Blocks Primes, Flesh, FM8, and the only one that I still use really is Massive. And Massive you can pick up for $19. So if you've never purchased Massive, go pick it up. And then what I would do is send you to ADSR Sounds, their website. And on that website, they have massive libraries. And look up Echo Soundworks. This guy makes the most beautiful patches I've ever heard and should be world famous for what he does. They are such good patches, and he makes tons of them for Massive. And if you go there at the right time of year, you can get thousands of Massive patches made by this guy for a ridiculously small amount of money. So check that out as well. If you don't have Massive, and if you've never checked out Echo Soundworks stuff, go check that out right now for sure. All right, next thing we should talk about is Maschine. It's on sale right now. And if you pick it up, I know you're going to get some other special deals as well. Right now, I'm not sure entirely what they are. I can honestly say I have no idea when they're going to drop something new for a Maschine. I hope it's next week, but I can pretty much guarantee it's not going to be. So would I say go pick one up right now? I don't know. This is what I will say about the Maschine. I've been recently disappointed by the Complete Control Mark III and its connection to Maschine. I'm not disappointed with it as a keyboard. I think it is amazing. I think this keyboard, if you are just using it to control virtual instruments in your DAW, it is fantastic. The new screen is beautiful. I've got videos on this keyboard as well. And I think with the stuff that's coming with it, it's going to be even more spectacular. We need all of the Native Instruments stuff to work on here. So I need to load up every single virtual instrument and be able to deep control it with the buttons, or maybe even go in and customize the buttons, which we can't do yet. We can't customize this keyboard for virtual instruments. And that should be something that's on the very top of their list. Actually, no, the very top of the list needs to be Maschine compatibility. They removed the Maschine functionality from the keyboard. I'm getting over it, and I'm sure very soon we're going to see some updates to the software that make it work better with this keyboard. So hopefully that's coming soon. Just be aware of this. You got to be aware of this when you pick it up. I love the Maschine workflow. I love chopping samples on here. I love loading up beats. I love playing on the pads. Everything is so fast and intuitive. I love even mixing on it, you know? But it's missing so much. We can't do MIDI polyphonic expression like this Osmos on the Maschine. You just can't. It can't do MPE. Things like that, right? So we need those kinds of updates coming soon. And so that's what you need to know about the Maschine. I love it. I'm never going to stop using it. We all can't wait until the new software versions come, and then maybe new hardware in the future as well. We'll see. I have high hopes. Let me know what you're going to do. If you're going to pick up a Maschine, I'd love to know if this is the first time you're going to pick up a Maschine. Last thing I will say about the sale is there's a bunch of iZotope things on sale as well. And I use the iZotope noise reduction software all the time. I also use things like the declicker. And one more thing, I should mention that my software sale says something about these NKS collections. I'm going to include this in the video, so hopefully I'm right. I think these are on sale as well. So NKS collections, where they partner with other companies. And I've always thought this is really cool that Native Instruments partners with companies like Output and Sound Iron and pushing their products on their website. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff here to look at. Might be on sale, might be a good time to pick those up. So check those out as well. Let me know if you did or if you already have them and if you're a big fan. Thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next video.